Hello and welcome. I am Uncle Major, your favorite uncle.
No bit intended.
In this video, I will be showing where you can get all items related to the Fire Knights that creeps around the Lands of Shadows. By the way, did you notice that they have some really slender arms? It must be interesting to see this guy swimming. Anyway, in this video, the items I will be covering are the following. The helms: Fire Knight Helm, Death Mask Helm, Salza Hood, and Winged Serpent Helm. The Fire Knight Armor, Gauntlets and Greaves, Fire Knight Shortsword, Fire Knight Greatsword, the Ashes of War Flame Spear, the spells Fire Serpent and Rain of Fire, the Fire Knight Seal, and finally the Spirit Ashes of the Fire Knight Hilde. All items can be acquired in the Shadow Keep. If you don't know how to get there as soon as possible, I've made a video that covers that up that you can check on the info card shown on the top right on the screen right now or in this video description. Without further ado, let's start checking where to get the items that need to be farmed. Those are the Fire Knight Helm, Armor, Gauntlets, Greaves, Shortsword, and Greatsword. Apart from the Greatsword, basically all Fire Knights can drop these items. The fastest way to farm the armor set and the Shortsword is from the Storehouse 7th floor Salza Grace, where Freya will eventually show up in your game, unless you kill her on the first spot she can be found. I did not test that yet. All you have to do is leave the room to see a noodle arm knight that you will be farming. Show him proper death, check for loot and return to the Salza Grace. It is that simple. Close to a Salza Grace, so Silver Pickle Foulfoot or Silver Horn Tender are really welcome here. But I don't know about you nephews, but this farming spot looks a bit boring. If it become a bit tedious for you after a while, I got a wacky route to spice things up. Keep in mind that this next method is less efficient. While in editing the video, I cropped a lot of runs and found the average time to kill the Fire Knight was around 32 seconds on the spot that I just showed you. This next route is less effective, around 40 seconds between kills. Not that much a difference, but slower nonetheless. But like I said, if you wanna change things up a little bit, here's what you're gonna do. Start from the Storehouse Loft Salza Grace. Go between the left of the lift and the railing and jump down. There's a noodle arm right behind you, but he's dumb or a ready user because you can jump on the railing on your right and go around him while standing up and running. He won't notice you. Get behind him and apply the buffs you want for the run before stabbing in the back. After he's dead and the loot check it, go downstairs and as it ends, crouch and check your right side. There is another Fire Knight contemplating the creepy hanging specimens. For this guy, try to backstab him in a way that his body will be pushed in the most perpendicular angle possible in relation to the edge he's on. Don't waste your time looking at him falling from the edge. Instead, turn 180 and go down the ladder and check while sliding down to see where his body ended up. The reason for the perpendicular angle I told you is to avoid his body ending up on the balcony below, instead of falling even further down. If his body stays on the balcony, don't worry, at the end of this run we will get there. After finish sliding down the ladder, turn to your left to find another Fire Knight with the other 3 Shadow Undead. You can kill these Shadow Undeads because the Fire Knight has the senses of a sunflower by the looks of it. But as soon as you kill the third one, crouch before you approach the Fire Knight because he'll notice you getting closer to him otherwise. Maybe because players irradiate sunlight or something like that when standing up. Who knows? After killing him and checking for loot, turn another 180 and jump to the left over these railings before the Tiny Wonder Bridge. And the body of the Fire Knight that got pushed from the edge before should be here in case he didn't get stuck on the balcony above. From here, head north, make a turn to the right, go up the stairs in front of you and turn left. Dodge the fireball of one of the Shadow Undead and turn left again. A Shadow Militiaman will try to attack you. You can simply dodge him, or if you prefer you can clap him. Go straight forward until the end, where you can get behind a shelf. Going around it like that will allow you to catch another Fire Knight by surprise. After he's done and checked for loot, go northeast and up the stairs and turn left, and at the end of it turn right and squeeze yourself exactly on this spot. It is very important that you get on this exactly spot ASAP. You don't need to be crouched here. Let the Fire Knight walk forward a little bit to not get a glimpse of you. You can heal or buff up again while waiting this 4 or 5 seconds. Again, get in by surprise, check for loot, and take the northwest stairs up. The other side will aggro some Shadow Undead. As soon as you reach the next floor, go to this spot and crouch to not be spotted by the next Fire Knight. Wait for him to turn his back on you and surprise attack him. And for the final Fire Knight, head south through the narrow bridge where there are 4 Shadow Militiamen. I recommend you to kill the ones that spot you because they might block you from fast traveling or dealing with the final Fire Knight. On the next room, kill exactly this Shadow Undead because he's the only one that can aggro on you. And go through the next room and do the same on the other Shadow Undead right in front of you. After killing him, turn left right away and go around the shelf in the middle of the room clockwise. In this way, you will surprise the final Noodle Arm Boy. Exactly on this spot where you kill the final Shadow Undead is where the body of that second Fire Knight that was pushed from the edge may ended up. After that, all you have to do is fast travel back to the storehouse Loft Cybergrace. If you didn't kill the Shadow Militiamen, they most likely will block you from fast traveling. It is up to you if you want to deal with them before or after the Fire Knight. I recommend the first option so they don't mess up your fight against the Fire Knight in case it drags on. So there you have a reasonable long farm route. It may look a bit confusing at first glance, but it's actually quite easy to get the hang of it. Like I said before, the first spot is more efficient, but the second one is way less tedious. It is up to you. And now, if you remember when I say you can get some Fire Knight items, but not the Greatsword, that is because the only ones can drop are the ones that wields it.
Of course!
And these are very, very few. I can only remember 3 of them in the game. Remember that Fire Knight that you can backstab off the edge? He's one of them that wields the Fire Knight Greatsword. So, to farm, start from the storehouse Loft Cybergrace and jump down between the lift and the rails and immediately go downstairs. This time don't backstab him off the edge. Just fight him on this exact floor and after checking for his loot, and if you're not using a consumable that boosts item discovery, simply fast travel back to the Cybergrace. But in case you are, go up the stair where you came and continue going forward until the shelf on your right ends. Make a U-turn to the right and go through the hole on the wall. Go all the way up the wooden platforms to reach the Cybergrace again. The next items that we'll be covering are awarded after defeating certain enemies or found as a loot on the world. To get the Death Mask Helm, first you need to lower the water of the church area in the Shadow Keep. To do that, first reach this area where there is a submerged statue of America and 2 Fire Knights patrolling the area. Go south where you will lead to an area where there are some bats, and at the end of this small path, you will find a giant crank that you can move. That will lower the water of this area. After that, the safest place to reach the Fire Knight that drops the helm is by dropping down where that same statue of America I just told you. I need to record this little clip of audio separately because I forgot to tell that the Fire Knight seal is located behind this statue. Even though you'll be jumping behind him, he will be aggro as soon as you land on the floor below. He also spawns some explosives undeads or whatever, which might be a bit annoying, but overall he fights like the rest of the Fire Knights. Once defeated, you will be immediately awarded his mask. The next headgear you can get is Salza Hood that will also give you the Rain of Fire incantation. To get those, you need to defeat a Fire Knight located at the west end of a long bridge that leads to the ancient ruins road. You can start from the west rampart Cybergrace and go through the small door on the west and run all the length of the bridge to reach the knight. Or you can start from the Viaduct Minor Tower Cybergrace and go east, taking the lift down and after going down the stairs to reach the Fire Knight that drops both items when defeated. The next Fire Knight will automatically give you the Winged Serpent Helm and the Flame Spear Ash of War when killed. To reach it, there are 2 options. To get it, you need to start from the Swordhouse 7th floor Cybergrace. Go down the stairs and go to the next room located east. You need to pull a lever to move the display specimens up, and when you finally reach the next floor, go outside. There will be 2 Shadow Undead that you better kill. At the end of the staircase, turn left to see the knight you need to kill. Be mindful that as soon as he spots you, he's gonna use the skill of the Ash of War to hit you from afar. The other side way is only if you already passed through this guy but didn't kill him. In that case, you can just simply start from the Dark Chamber entrance side of Grace to get in from behind. The Spirit Ashes of the Fire Knight Hilde is close by. To get it, also start from the storehouse Loft Cybergrace and take the lift up. This time you're going to turn left, go up the stairs and turn left again, and look for a giant gear with an item on top of it and jump on it. With the jump accomplished, go left and take the ladder up. Now be very careful. Look for the Fire Knight at the end of one of those beams. Kill him because otherwise it's gonna make your next attacks completely hell. And you already been through a lot already in this DLC, right Defius? Be aware of his pushing spell. After he's done so, look for another beam on the other side, there is a lift. What you're going to do next is get inside the lift, step on the plate to send it down, but don't go with it. Stay on the wooded beam, wait for another lift to come up, and once it arrives, do the same thing again, send it down without going with it. Now prepare to jump on top of the previous lift that is coming up. It is really janky to stay on top of this thing, and most likely you ended up in a small tree on the sides. Look north to see a spirit ashes on a corpse. This jump needs some reach. Try to gain some momentum starting from the tree sides in relation to the item position. There is one more item that these guys use a lot, the Fire Serpent incantation. To get it will be super easy if you are watching the entirety of this video. Also start from the storehouse left side of Grace and fall down between the lift and the railings and continue going north, and when the shelves on the right ends, just go through the archway in front of you to find an incantation on a corpse. And with that, we have seen all items related to the Fire Knights. I hope this video was proven useful to you. If it did, consider leaving a like and maybe even a subscription to your new favorite uncle.
Don't worry, kids. I'm not a PDF file.
Check my channel for more guide videos and especially my build videos. Those are my favorite. Thank you for watching, and I hope you will see you on my other videos. Take care, nephews.